What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Thank you very much for stopping in and checking out the video. Can't thank you enough for giving me your time today. I promise I will definitely entertain you and hopefully educate you in some way, shape, or form. Now, usually each video starts with us in the LOI. We head somewhere in this thing, but you know what? It's kind of nice outside in terms of it's not real snowy or rainy, a little bit moist. I think we can take the old LML out here. This thing does not nearly get enough video time that it deserves. Quick overview of the truck. I know a lot of people will be asking in the comments what the setup is on it. These tires right here, Nitto 375s, so that's about a 36-inch tall, 15-inch wide tire, 24x14 American Force wheels with the face plates painted white, VV Concept spike lug nuts in there. It is a little bit dirty, I'm not gonna lie. It hasn't been cleaned in a while because it just sits here in the winter. I'm not gonna run it through the salt, heck no. Fox Remote Reservoir 2.0 shocks in all four corners. Kelderman 4-link air ride kit in the rear. This sits at about 5 inches over stock. You can dump it down the whole way to 2 inches over stock when all the air's out of the bags. And that complements this lift up front, which is a Kelderman 7 to 9 inch up front. Right at about 8 inches right now. It gives me just enough clearance for the tires, but also keeps the ride quality nice. Now that's just a real brief overview. I could go on for this thing for like 20 minutes. What's done under the hood, all the different things, down to replacing these right here from chrome to black, grill, painting the emblems, tow hooks, Rigid Industries bars there, SAE Rigid approved fog lights here, headlights built by Gold Standard Lighting. I could just go on and on and on, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is going to be something out at Jordan's house, working on a new product for MDDP. So we're going to do some R&D, kind of figure out where we want to mount things, the location. I'll get into it in detail when we're there, so that way it makes more sense than me just trying to blab on right now about it. But let's see if this thing will start. It hasn't started in about, oh man, maybe about 2 months or so. I've had it on the charger here. It's been doing pretty well on there. Seems to be pretty well charged. So this is my favorite part of this thing, unlocking it. You get all the orange and the mirrors. These are built by Desert Lighting there. The amp steps. Let's see how the battery is looking. Oh, it's looking pretty good. Let me unhook the charger underneath the hood and then listen to this thing fire up. Charger's off. Put our little battery cover on there. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a jump to get up to this hood. That's as far as I can reach right there. So it's kind of like a leap up and grab it and just let it fall. Just like that. Now let's see what she'll do here. Put the lift pump on. Glow plug shouldn't really, they did come on just for a little bit there. Have 1,000 warnings come up here because I haven't started it in forever. Actually, I'm trying to think. If I was watching a YouTube video of someone with a straight pipe diesel, I'm not gonna want to watch them turn the key. I'm gonna want to hear the sound of that thing start up. So guess what? I'll put you guys right underneath the exhaust tip. Hopefully the sound is not distorted because of how loud it is, but we'll try it out. Now I do have an Easy Link system on this, so the actual Easy Link auto agent is underneath there. You can't see it. My DSP5 switch is right here, and that means that using an Android and or iOS device, we can watch our gauges and or, you know, basically do anything an Edge CTS2 could do. So to do that, it uses Wi-Fi. It's not actual like internet connection Wi-Fi. The best way to think of it is just like Bluetooth. So I'll go into my Wi-Fi. Easy Link should come up here. There it is, and you can see it says Easy Link, no internet connection, and that is okay. So we'll close out of that, go into our auto agent app. I haven't done this in a while, so I had to do the little process there, but that's pretty much everything. All my gauges I've set here that I put in, things you can do to show you real quick. DTCs, check for engine codes. We don't have any. We could clear them if we did have them. We can chat with our tech. So here's PPI, that is who my tuner is on this truck, who made the tunes for the Easy Link. Talk to your technician, like I was saying. You can go into your vehicle specs, ECU profiles. So say I wanted to change my setup someday, I wanted to put a 10 mil pump on, I don't have to call PPI or anything. I just go bam, right there, click on it, download that tune from the cloud, put it into here, that drives it to the auto agent, puts it into the ECM. It's as easy as that. So that's a quick little briefing on EFI Live versus EasyLink. EasyLink, you have such great communication with your tuner because you can do things like this on the fly. You're so connected through the internet, the things are instant. Versus EFI Live, say I put a 10 mil CP3 on this truck, I'm gonna have to email them, hey, can I get a file, blah, blah, blah. Pay for it, obviously, and then after that, you gotta go put it from your computer to your auto cal, from your auto cal into your truck. And if you've never done it before, it's a little bit, I'm not gonna say super involved, but it makes you really sit there and think about it for a while. Your first time might take you an hour on the EFI Live Explorer. So quick little how-to there on both of those systems. Nice benefit of wide tires, you got a workbench and have you work on something in here, but we got the 2 zip ties, and I almost forgot the dikes, but I did not, or else it would have been stuck with the GoPro on here. So I'm gonna wrap these around here and see what I can do. You guys let me know down in the comments, was that a good idea or not? What's going on, buddy?
You're missing a hubcap there, my friend.
Yeah,
I think you forgot to put it back on.
It's a funny story. One guy he needed his wheel drilled out for these caps because someone broke all the studs off, and the nice guy I am, I used ours as a template, and Jordan just had to call me out on it. So let's see what's going on inside here. Right here used to be a transmission cooler. Well, from the factory, it's down into here, but Jordan relocated it to up top. And that is pretty much what this project is a whole transmission cooler relocation kit to the back of the truck to try and improve some of the things that we found weren't satisfaction with the way the factory cooler was mounted where it was and the job that it was doing, especially when you start pushing to higher horsepower numbers like this truck. I'd estimate it somewhere in the mid 6s for horsepower, so it's not like a fully built compound and whatnot kit, but you know, at least it's more than what a stock truck would be putting out. Jordan has mainly been taking over this project because it's obviously his truck here, and he was the one having the issue with it, and he kind of brought up the idea of this coming out with a kit like this because there's nothing out on the market like it. And when he was looking through everything, this is what he decided would be the best option, and I 100% agree with it. So I'm gonna let Jordan kind of walk us through what exactly is going on right now.
Alright, so your factory cooler in reality would be, let me see if I can get it down here, would be down here roughly like this. You can see you just got these 2 little pockets, so you know the whole thing doesn't really get utilized. So my idea was to move it up here like this to get more airflow, and when I did that, we ended up bypassing this where the transmission fluid comes into the rad here. You can see one port there and then another one way down there. As there's actually a small little cooler in the rad. When your fluid is up over, say, 160, 170, you're in that range. This is the cold side tank of the rad, so it's actually pulling heat from your fluid. And what I noticed, as soon as I deleted that, I saw an increase in temperature. So then I moved it up, and it helped a little bit, but it still really wasn't that great. So I was playing with different lines and spent a lot of money, and I mean, I learned a lot. We just decided to do a remote mount cooler. We have 13-foot align 2 pieces here to run the whole way from the back.
What size AN is this?
-10, -10.
So that's -10, and over here is the stuff that he was talking about when he bypassed the radiator. This is the original line that he used. This didn't really work out the way people told us it would, and I think it's mainly because we were hearing a lot about people who have gas trucks that do this, and obviously those run at a different temperature than these run at. So that's probably some of the reason why this didn't work the way people said it would, and that's something you don't figure out until you waste the money and find it out yourself. We have the new cooler mounted with the fan, and from this view right here I want to show you Right about there is where the hitch is. The fan sits above that. It's kind of tucked up in there a little bit. And it has a fan that pulls the air and pushes it through this real thick cooler. You remember Jordan holding up the factory cooler? It was like that thin. So this thing is a heck of a lot thicker. And then on this side of the cooler, there's a little thermostat. So that way your fluid constantly stays in there. So for winter applications, this fan won't be on. This cooler is not getting any air, so your trans is gonna heat up nice to its happy temperature. In the summer, this thing, obviously it's a giant cooler. It's gonna cool down that trans fluid as we expect it to. I mean, this is all to be tested, but we're kind of speculating here based off the stats we read and the experience we have so far. So warm-ups in the winter and then cooler temperatures in the summer. That should be the plan, and we can kind of play with this thermostat if we want to. You can buy different ones to put in here, but we're just testing this one out first. Just getting the new hole drilled for the power wire. That's going back from the cooler. So we have 3 wires coming off this cooler. The first one is the ground. We put right to the frame. Second one goes to the thermostat right here. And the third one is the direct power, which this runs right up to the battery. We loomed this, ran it inside the frame the whole way up to the front. That's what I showed you up front there. And this will go directly to this thermostat, so it has power to come on when it needs to. Seems like every single time we have a project, the one thing that holds us up is electrical stuff. It's just, you don't expect it, it just blindside. We've been looking on this, kind of seeing the amperage this fan's gonna draw, and what kind of relay we need. That's what we decided is we need to find out how this wiring harness is gonna get laid out, what size relay. So we're about to become experts in a relay, because we got to figure out what we need for this thing, get the right size. I honestly, at this point in time, I don't know too much about them, just the bare minimum of what they do. How to select one for a size of what load, that's what we're gonna have to figure out. So we have the wire run up to the front, but I think we're gonna have to run a ground up to the front as well. Time will kind of tell what exactly we have to do there. But like I said, we're gonna figure out what relay to use, and then we'll have an inline fuse as well in here. On top of the fuse, I believe the relay will have the fuse in it itself. So we got to figure that out, but for now we're going to go ahead and start running the lines to the back of the truck from the side of the transmission. Here we are underneath the truck. On the side of the Allison, this is the passenger side. You can see they actually label it for you, so it says to cooler and from cooler. These 2 ports right here, we already put the AN fittings in there. Actually, Jordan had this previously from that first kit we were talking about that didn't work. So the lines are going to go from these 2 all the way back to the very back of the truck where that cooler's at. And the cool thing about the cooler is it doesn't matter where you put the lines. There's no inlet, there's no outlet. It's just one continuous flow no matter what you do. We had our -10 AN line run back there to the cooler and then up to the trans right there like I was showing you guys. Found out it's a little bit too long, so we're gonna cut just a tiny bit off. Actually, we marked it right there to be able to know where to cut that. And then it's kind of a process to getting that AN fitting back onto this stainless braided line. We kind of got a feel for what places we're going to mount it on the way back to the cooler to make sure it's all secure and out of the way. And that's pretty much going to wrap up today's progress on this. We learned a lot about, we got to figure out the relay situation, the wiring situation, what lengths we're going to need for that. So today was a productive day overall. I want to create the hardest scenario on that cooler possible to make sure that no customer out there is going to have an issue with it. He already has a high stall converter, so that automatically starts making more heat. So I'm pretty pumped to see how that thing comes out and see how well it keeps that trans right in that happy zone. So guys, thank you very much for watching the video. If you do me a huge favor, if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't, just tell me in the comments some suggestions what you'd like to see on future videos. Thanks again guys for watching, and we will see you on the next video.